dive deep into attacking any actual leg locks, we'll be first looking at how we're going to be approaching that, which is through control. So historically, the way we saw leg locks attacked was, say, for example, someone will get control of a heel and just start ripping across the body. And then we had the emergence of John Danaher and his team, and they had a bit of a shift in focus where the approach was through control. So using leg entanglements to take control of someone's legs and then using that to set up and apply various leg attacks. And we're going to be taking a similar approach today. So for a long time now, the focus and sort of the primary starting position for attacking leg locks has been from Ashi garami, or like a standard Ashi garami here, where the idea being is I have my inside leg just hooking behind the hamstring of my partner's secondary leg here. My outside leg comes across and we connect on my partner's hip here like so. And this has sort of been the fundamental starting position for a long time. But I think now leg locks have changed a little bit, where we're starting to look at a change in fundamentals for attacking leg locks. And that's where we start playing from a position we call false hook Ashi. There's a couple of different names for it out there, like 70-30 guard, shadow hook, different names, but the name that I run with is false hook. So what we do here is, instead of connecting both my legs around my partner's hip here, we actually play from a more open position. So I take my outside leg like so, I'm going to step on my partner's hip so I can shift my hips back, and I actually hook underneath the primary leg here. So this acts very similar to a crab hook in crab ride here, where I'm looking to apply internal rotation with my knee here while keeping my foot like hooking underneath my partner's hamstring there. And now this isn't a leg entanglement in sort of the truest sense, where, from a classic leg entanglement here, when I connect on my partner's hip like so, without using my hands, I should be able to keep my partner in the position. So if she starts trying to pull away from me here, I keep a nice tight connection. When we start thinking about switching in towards a false hook here, I do need to be using my upper body and my elbow pinching here to maintain connection, but we still have a very similar style of strong control. So just like we saw with our Ashi garami, from a false hook, if my partner tries to pull away from me here, this should be very difficult. And we have a lot more freedom of movement from this position, and we can use it to set up a lot more leg attacks with like a lot more efficacy. The downside of playing from a standard Ashi garami here is that it's not a particularly strong position for really doing anything other than gaining initial control within the position. While when we play from a false hook, we get a strong initial control here. It's a pretty easy position to attain, while as well having a greater ability to control my partner's leg, being able to apply internal rotation here, external rotation as needed to set up various ankle locks, and even then, like the ability to quickly disconnect and switch into different attacks. So the primary focus of today's instructional is going to be playing from that false hook Ashi and how we can use it to set up majority of our leg attacks there, and start looking at chaining leg attacks together.